Hey guys, the Hurried Hostess here with another tasty, delicious recipe for you. Today we're going to be making some tuna stuffed tomatoes. These are jam-packed with goodness and they're super light and refreshing, so they're great for lunch or dinner. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 6 medium tomatoes, slice off the top quarter of the tomato, and then you're going to take it and you're going to scoop out all of the inside. Don't get rid of it. Just keep it separately. It might be a little bit difficult to get through the sides of it, and especially once you get to the bottom of the tomato, but you're just going to scoop it out with a spoon, super easy, and just get it all out. The interesting thing about this recipe is that I'm not really a big fan of tomatoes, but for some reason it works in this recipe. The tomatoes are a great vessel for all of that goodness we're going to put inside of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to line a baking sheet with foil, and then you're going to put your 6 tomatoes on the baking sheet. Next, you're going to take one of those scooped out tomatoes and you're going to chop it up really finely into little diced tomatoes. And you're going to put that in a bowl. We are now building the base of what's going to be going inside of the tomatoes. So next you're going to take 1 can of white beans and you're going to drain them and then rinse them really well to get all that extra starch off of there. So you're going to take half of those beans and put them on a cutting board or a bowl, and you're going to use a fork to mash them. It doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be completely obliterated, but you're going to want to mash them so they're, not completely intact anymore. Just mash them, mash them, mash them, and then you're going to add them to your diced tomatoes. Next up, you're going to add a half a cup of breadcrumbs, and you're going to use the kind with Italian seasoning. It's going to give us a great flavor that adds to the dish. You're also going to add a 1/4 cup of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I like to fresh grate mine because I think it impacts the flavor a lot more. Then you're going to add a teaspoon of garlic, minced, of course, and then 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. This is going to give it that little kick that you want. Next up, you're going to get a microplane out and you're going to do 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. Again, you can use the store-bought stuff, but I prefer fresh. Then you're going to cut that same lemon that you just zested and you're going to squeeze about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice into your bowl. You'll also want to add a little salt and pepper on top here as well. You're going to stir that up pretty well. Everything in there is pretty much mashed or, small in nature, so you don't have to be really dainty with it. Just get in there and mix it all together. Next up, you're going to add 2 cans of white tuna and oil. You're just going to drain them and then add them to your bowl, and then the rest of the white beans that we used. You're going to be kind of gentle and fold those in together because we don't want to destroy that tuna too much and we don't want to break up those beans. This is where we're going to add our texture in. So after you've got it all mixed really well, you're going to fill up your little tomato cups. It's going to be a lot of filling, but don't be scared. Fill it to the brim. It should be heaping over that tomato because when you bake it, it's going to settle down a little bit. So now we're going to get our topping together. We're going to do another half cup of the Italian seasoned breadcrumbs and a 1/4 cup of the Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, a tablespoon of olive oil, and just mix it all together. It'll kind of have the consistency of wet sand, but it's going to make a great crunchy topping for the top of your little tomato cups. So now it's time to bake it. You're going to loosely cover the top of your pan with some foil and you're going to bake it for 30 minutes and then uncover and bake again for another 5 minutes. We want to get that top really crisp and golden. It's going to be really great. So there you have it. Nothing to it. Easy. Just mix it up, put it in the oven, and you have a healthy, delicious meal with low in calories and high in protein.